Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your bank account and thought to yourself, where did all my money go? And you notice there's no big purchases, just random spending, eating out, subscriptions, and even quick online buys. It adds up fast. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Joe, a licensed certified public accountant with over 15 years experience in corporate and public accounting. I have an extensive background in accounting, audit, and taxes, and I'm all about helping you take control of your money by living smarter. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on all notifications. And check out the blog site where we post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today, we're breaking down how to plan a no spending month the right way. Not just cutting spending randomly, but doing it in a way that's realistic and actually works. By the end of this video, you'll know what a no spending month really is, how to set it up, and how to stick with it without feeling miserable. Let's start by explaining what is a no spending month. A no spending month is exactly what it sounds like, with one important twist. You're not spending money on anything unnecessary. That means no eating out, no shopping for fun, and no impulse purchases. But you still pay for your essentials such as your rent or mortgage, your utilities, groceries, and transportation. So it's not about spending nothing, it's about cutting out the extra stuff. So you might be asking yourself now, why would anyone want to do this? Because most people don't realize how much they're spending on non essentials. A no spend month can help you to reset your spending habits, build awareness, save money quickly, break impulsive spending cycles, raise awareness over restriction. It's not about punishment, it's about understanding your habits and controlling your money. It's like hitting a reset button on your finances. The biggest thing I see is that most people don't see where they're actually spending on non essentials, such as eating out, those unused subscriptions, and even if you have a Candy Crush addiction like I do. But doing a no spending month will really help you to reset yourself, recenter yourself, and bring you back. And the biggest thing is it raises awareness on the things that you didn't even realize you were spending money on that you probably could have been saving over time. Even if you realize you're only saving $15 or maybe even $100 a month, a start is a start and a win is a win. And this helps you to put you back in control of your money and your finances. So let's talk about step one. The first step is to set clear rules. If you don't define what a no spend month means for you, you'll bend the rules when it gets inconvenient. So decide up front what counts as essential and what counts as non essential. For example, allowed might be spending money on groceries, making sure you're getting gas to put in your car, spending on your phone bill so you're able to contact people. And maybe what's not allowed is maybe no takeout for 30 days. Maybe no online shopping for the next 30 days or online shopping that's unnecessary. Maybe instead of going out for entertainment purchases, maybe instead you try to find other more convenient ways to entertain yourself. Clarity makes this much easier. Again, we're building awareness. This isn't about restriction and it's not about having no fun. It's about setting clear rules to help you stick with your no spend month. Now, if step one was defining our clear rules, let's talk about step two. Step two is to identify your weak spots. This is where we're going to try to know what our habits are. Where do you usually overspend? I can tell you for me, I love gummies. So every month in my budget, I usually overspend in the snack categories. I don't know what it is about gummies, but for whatever reason, I'm addicted and I'm not afraid to admit it. Maybe yours is food delivery. Maybe you're a big Grubhub or DoorDash type of person. You love to have your food delivered to you. Maybe those coffee runs at work. Maybe you and your coworkers love to go for a coffee run at 9 a.m. Or maybe it's that convenient Amazon buy now purchases. Maybe that's where your habits are. These are your trigger areas. Once you identify them, you can plan around them. Because if you don't plan for temptation, you'll fall back into old habits. So the best way to identify your weak spots is just look through your bank account, comb through it, and see maybe over the last 60 days Where did you spend money at that maybe you could cut back on? Maybe it's like we said, the food delivery. Instead of getting your food delivered through DoorDash or one of those other delivery spots, maybe instead actually go out and pick it up, do it for takeout and go get it. Maybe instead of doing coffee runs, maybe you guys bring in a coffee machine and you make it right there in the desk, and you just go from a coffee running across the street to a coffee run across the cubicle. And even Amazon purchases. Now, this one is really hard. I can't even lie. I think we're all love the convenience of Amazon, where you just click and buy, and it's there the next day. But maybe instead of going to Amazon, maybe we try to uh, buy things from our local stores, or try not to avoid Amazon altogether. But the biggest thing here is to identify where your weak spots are, because we're raising awareness for what is going to tempt us, so we could try to plan to get around that temptation. Step three is one of the most important steps of all of them. Step three is all about preparing yourself. Remember, preparation is everything. So, before you do your no spend month, you might want to start with making a grocery shopping and planning meal. Cancel or pause any subscriptions that you're not using or that really aren't essential for you. Plan for free activities. Maybe look around in your local newspaper or magazines, or and see what free activities are going on in your area instead of spending money on entertainment. And lastly, remember, you're going to want to set a clear start and end date. If you go in unprepared, you'll end up spending out of convenience. This is one of the most important things, because once it starts to become inconvenient, and if you don't prepare yourself, you're going to be just like someone who maybe hasn't run in years and they decide to go out and run 10 miles. You're going to end up overdoing it, and you're going to end up killing your progress, and you're going to be demotivated. So, you really want to make sure that you prepare yourself before you start. And I would start with definitely a grocery shopping and planning your meal ahead of time. Cancel or pause any subscriptions is a great idea, because it helps you to realize, hey, some of these I really don't need. And also planning for free activities. There's always something going on, especially if you live near a large city or a large metropolitan area. There's always something that you can get into. So be sure to prepare yourself before you do anything else, because this is going to really set you up to be in a good place before you even start your no spend month. So let's move into our next step four of our no spend month. Step four is all about replacing those spending habits. This is a big one. Don't just remove spending, replace it. If you usually eat out, you're going to want to cook at home. If you shop for fun, maybe find a free hobby. Go to your local library. There's always something going on at the libraries. Instead of going out for entertainment, maybe plan for low cost or free options. If you don't replace the habit, the urge to spend stays. Remember, we're rebuilding those habits, we're replacing our bad habits with good ones. This is another very important step in the process. I would say this is probably the second most important, because the purpose of the no spend month is to bring awareness to those things that we're spending that are small. Like we said in the opening, they're usually not big spending, it's usually small things such as eating out, those unnecessary subscriptions, maybe easily buying things on Amazon. We're trying to replace that so that we can take back more control of our money and save for whatever it is that we want to save for, and get ourselves ahead financially, especially in today's climate. So, this no spending month, the purpose is to reset, is to try to get rid of old habits and start creating those new habits that we need. And that starts with, instead of eating out, cooking at home a little more. If you're used to eating out 7 days a week, maybe we're going to want to cook at home. Maybe realistically, we can cook at home 3 days a week, depending on what your schedule looks like. Remember, you don't have to go all out and say, you know what, I'm going to cook at home 7 days a week instead, even though I'm used to eating out 7 days a week. You're going to kill yourself. So start with maybe 1 or 2 days cooking at home, and then gradually build up to maybe 6 or 7. But make sure you have fun with it. You don't want it to be a non-fun thing. Instead of shopping for fun, maybe find a free hobby. Instead of always going out and looking to go shop. Maybe instead of shopping at Target, go to your local thrift store. See if there's something there that you could get one discount. And same thing with going out for entertainment. Instead of always going out to the latest and greatest thing, maybe look for something that's a little low cost or free options. Those usually end up being some of the funnest things that you can do. So remember, we're replacing bad habits with new ones, but we have to take it one step at a time. Let's look at step five, our last step in the no spending month. Step five is all about tracking your progress. Here's where we're going to see how we're doing. You can either write down what you didn't spend your money on, track the money that you saved, or note when you felt tempted. This builds awareness and keeps you motivated. This is one of the biggest things that you can do is track the progress. You want to really give yourself a pat on the back for doing this. And remember, every day is a new day, so every day you could restart your spending. But the biggest thing is tracking to make awareness of where we saved our money at, how we felt when we felt tempted. Maybe we were being emotional that day. Maybe we felt bad. Maybe we felt good, and we were tempted to spend, but we remembered that we're doing a no spend month. So we want to know where that guilty temptation comes in at, and then write down what you didn't spend money on. Write down what you did spend money on and what you did well. So remember, this is the last step in our wheel, and we're going to track our progress to see how we're doing. Let's talk about some common mistakes you should avoid. Mistake number one is being too strict. If your rules are unrealistic, you'll quit early. Remember, this isn't about restriction, it's about awareness. So don't be too strict on yourself and don't go in guns blazing. Like I said earlier, if you haven't ran in a long time, you wouldn't go out and just on your day one of running and run 10 miles. You're going to quit early. And that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is to bring awareness and start to build new habits and break the old ones. So even if you have to start with something, only maybe one rule instead of 10 rules, do that. I'd rather see you stick with it and make it to the end of the month than to start early and burn out early. Mistake number two is not planning ahead. Lack of preparation leads to spending. And also, if you fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Remember that. If you don't plan ahead and try to prepare yourself in the long run, again, you're going to burn out and quit, or at the slightest inconvenience, you're going to want to spend that money. So be sure to plan ahead. That's one of the most important things. Mistake number three is not setting any clear goals. If you don't know why you're doing this, it won't stick. Remember, if you're not new to this channel, we try to set SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So remember, start SMART goals. You don't want to just start out just to say, I want to do a no spending month. What is your goal? Maybe for your no spending month, maybe instead of doing no spending on takeout, entertainment, and impulsive spending all at once, maybe for this month, you're going to do no takeout. And then maybe next month, you're going to do a no spending on just entertainment. You don't have to do four different no spending things, but maybe you just want to set one goal. Maybe I've been spending way too much on Amazon, so I'm going to stick to a 30-day Amazon cleanse from spending. Do something that you're going to stick with. You don't have any goals, then you're not going to be able to stick to it. And mistake number four is giving up after one slip up. Remember, one mistake doesn't mean failure. Keep going. Mistakes are going to happen. You're setting new habits. It's hard to break old habits. So remember, just keep going no matter what. By the end of the no spend month, you'll notice what you actually need versus your wants, where your money was going, and how much you can save. This isn't just about one month. It changes how you think about money in the long term. So, a no spend month isn't about restriction. It's about awareness and control. It shows you that you have more control over your money than you think. You just need a system. If this video helped you out, be sure to like and subscribe and follow me on all social medias for more simple, realistic money habits and budgeting tools. And be sure to come back next week where we'll talk about budgeting for unexpected expenses. Thanks for watching.